theme of my life has been that a random paranormal event will occur, and then when I try to recreate it through dedicated practice, I have limited or sporadic success. When I eventually give up and move on with my life, some new event will occur, coaxing me back in. Excuse me. I used to think these events were encouragement to focus on and practice paranormal skills. However, after 25 years of this back and forth, I'm starting to wonder if these random events are actually just intended to be fun reminders of the larger reality and of my core purpose to grow. So my question is, do you think that my intellect, fear, ego, and hard-headedness have been the limiting factors all these years when trying to practice these skills? Or could it be that I'm also being blocked from success in this particular experience packet to help me stay on a more useful path?
Well, it could be some of both, but I suspect it's more of the former than the latter. I suspect it's more of your intellect and fear and ego have just kind of blocked you. And as soon as you get, oh, that was awesome. Now let me really get this under control. Now your intellect takes charge and wants to do it. And doing isn't the right process. It's being. And the doing gets in the way of being, because when you're so busy doing, you're not being. So I think that's probably what happened. And we don't know whether, had you gotten it much earlier, you would have gotten, gone too far and kind of escaped this reality to spend time in others. But I think not. I don't think that's likely to have been a problem. So I don't think that's what the LCS was trying to prevent you from getting in too deep and losing yourself. Perhaps some people do. Some people do get in too deep and they lose themselves and they forget that this reality is really the main learning lab. This is where the real action is, because it's a multiplayer game and there's all sorts of, new stuff being, coming at you all the time. So this is really the place to learn. The other stuff is interesting and you can learn there, but the multiplayer game is where the action is. Some people lose sight of that, and you may have, but I don't think that would have been the LCS's main reason, because they can always do something else to bring that back. If that was the case and you got too far removed from this reality, then the door just would have been shut and you wouldn't have been able to do it anymore. Something like that would happen to change it. You would have fallen off a ladder and broken your leg and it would have changed everything. Something else would have happened to bring you back into this reality. So I don't think the system would do that just to keep you from getting immersed. I think it was just your pursuit of something that can't be pursued, something you have to let happen. Your pursuit of doing to get there when doing keeps you from getting there was the problem. So I think it's all falling together, all this lifetime, all of these events, they kept happening. So why did they keep happening when you'd let them go? Why did they keep coming back to give another little tug on your line? Like you're sitting there fishing and no fish. And then you get a little tug on your line and you get excited and no fish, and a little tug on your line. I think it was to keep you interested, to keep you focused, because going on this path, understanding bigger pictures was where you needed to be. It's what you were ready for. And it's the growth that was required. So when you started to forget about it, you'd get another tug on that line to get you back interested in it again. So it was to not let that interest wane and forget about it, but to keep the questioning, keep the search, being a seeker, keep that alive, keep that out there, because that's important. So I think that's why you kept getting the little bumps. System would give you a bump and you'd get excited about it. Then you'd let it go and it'd give you another one. People who have been around enough to have evolved pretty well, it takes them a while to get back to it. Every time you start over with a new experience packet, you kind of start from the beginning. you come in with the quality that you've earned, but you have to reestablish that quality in terms of your choices. You have to reestablish it. So it starts right off as a child, you know, you're making choices and you have to let go of the self-centeredness and you have to do all this stuff all over again because that's the way life works. And the system often tends to nudge people to help them get back to where they were last time, to keep them focused so that they can make more progress this time. So that was also the system just, okay, Justin, you know, don't lose the bubble here. Keep your mind open, keep working on it, keep going. You know, you've been here before, you've done this, you know, we got to get you back up to where you can start making new progress. So the system does that. So I'd say that's what's been going on. And I think it all worked out pretty well. You seem to be where you need to be. You're kind of figuring it all out. You're still a young guy. You got a lot of life ahead of you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As you're talking or as you're answering, I'm kind of thinking about it too, and I wonder if some of the problem also was that I got really hung up on trying to have those experiences, which kind of made me lose track of the bigger picture of just learning and being and growing. So where it's, yeah, have some experiences, you know, get some information, get some validation, but just, you know, stay focused in the kind of gritty, grounded experience of PMR.
Yeah, right. It kept nudging you to wake you up, but as soon as you woke up, you got focused on the details. So it says, oh, the details really aren't that important. That's not where you need to go. So it kind of lets you go until you get defocused and then bump you again. Yeah. So yeah, something like that. You didn't need to really go do that. That's not going to be that helpful. What's helpful, seeing the bigger picture. But to keep you a searcher. I think that's the idea. Keep you searching until you were mature enough to learn, till you were ready to take, you know, to see bigger pictures. But not get too off in the weeds with the phenomena.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah. So it looks like the system was just teasing you to kind of hang the carrot there, and you'd kind of try to get the carrot, and it'd pull the carrot away. And then just about the time you figured, well, that carrot's not coming back, it'd hang another carrot out there for you, and you jump to get the carrot, and it'd pull the carrot away. Yeah, well, that's probably what happened, and it's good because it worked out very well. The system was probably correct. This was probably the best path for you to be on.
It definitely makes me feel like I imagine when I'm trying to potty train a puppy or something like that, and it's so obvious to me what the puppy needs to do, but the puppy has no clue what's really happening. So there's a lot of times where I realize I'm just a puppy, and they're trying to teach me to do something so simple, but they have to go a roundabout way because they can't just tell me directly. So it all makes sense, but I guess it makes for a great adventure, if anything.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.